At midnight, every human loses the need to sleep and gains a second life after dark. Nobody becomes exhausted. Memory still works. Children still develop. The biological repair that sleep once handled now happens continuously, by the rule of this world. At first the change feels private. You lie in bed waiting for drowsiness that never arrives, then stand up at 2 in the morning with a clear head and 8 unclaimed hours. Across the city, bedroom lights click on one by one, coffee shops reopen, group chats wake. By sunrise, humanity has discovered a new continent hiding inside every day. The size of that continent is enormous. The 2025 American Time Use Survey records a little over 9 hours a day under sleeping for the civilian population average. Remove the need, and an 80-year life gains roughly 3 waking decades. During the first month, people spend the windfall exactly as promised, learning instruments, cleaning garages, taking night classes, seeing friends, and walking through quiet streets. Hospitals clear backlogs because patients and staff can arrive at any hour. Parents finish chores while their children build blanket forts at 4 in the morning. For a brief moment, time poverty appears to be solved. Work follows the customers. At first, an extra shift means more jobs and shorter lines. Then one company asks for 10-hour days because nobody needs recovery sleep. A competitor asks for 12. The old 8-hour limit was never created only because workers got sleepy. It was fought for as a boundary around life. The first International Labor Organization convention in 1919 centered an 8-hour day and 48-hour week. In the sleepless world, that boundary suddenly looks arbitrary to employers. Workers discover that being physically capable of staying awake does not make every waking hour available for sale. Sleep is gone, but the clock inside each cell remains. Circadian rhythms regulate more than sleepiness. They help time body temperature, hormones, blood pressure, metabolism, and alertness across roughly 24 hours. Some people feel sharp in the bright morning. Others do their best work after dark. Society cannot simply declare every hour biologically identical. Schools and jobs begin advertising chronotype windows. Public services rotate staff to match their natural peaks. A person may never need a bed, yet still feel that 4 in the morning is the wrong time for an exam, a trial, or a difficult surgery. That interruption becomes the central problem. Today, a message sent at 3 in the morning carries an obvious excuse for silence. In this world, the sender knows you are awake. Friends expect instant replies. Managers see an unanswered message as a choice. Partners can no longer say they fell asleep before an argument ended. Every absence looks deliberate. Social platforms add a protected away status, but people learn to distrust it. The freedom from unconsciousness creates a harsher form of visibility. If you are always capable of responding, every boundary must be actively defended. Cities answer by zoning time the way they once zoned land. Some districts stay bright and active for continuous commerce. Others enforce darkness, low noise, and no deliveries for protected hours. The night sky improves in places because darkness becomes an amenity people organize to preserve. Old bedrooms turn into sensory shelters. Libraries add rooms with no clocks, screens, or notifications. People visit them for the experience that sleep once supplied without permission, being unreachable while the world continues. The most valuable room in a sleepless city is not a bedroom. It is a place where nobody can ask anything from you. A labor movement forms around a strange demand, the protected 8. Every person chooses 8 hours when employers, schools, platforms, and government services must treat them as absent. They may study, wander, play games, sit with family, or do absolutely nothing. The rule sounds wasteful to companies built around permanent availability. Workers answer that recovered time is not recovered if somebody else can claim it. After strikes, the protected 8 becomes law in some countries and a luxury subscription in others. The old sleep divide returns in a new form. People with power own their unavailable hours. Everyone else rents them out. Years later, a teenager enters a voluntary blackout club. Phones stay outside. The room is dim. Nobody works, records, shops, or optimizes anything. People lie on mats with their eyes open while a quiet story plays. Older members describe sleep, the vanished country where dreams arrived and every obligation temporarily lost its address. The teenager thinks it sounds frightening, surrendering awareness for hours, yet the club fills every night. Humans no longer need unconsciousness, but they still crave a border that cannot be negotiated by a boss, a friend, an audience, or an algorithm. Removing sleep does give humanity more life. Streets become safer at odd hours, education becomes easier to schedule, and nobody loses a morning to exhaustion. But the gift exposes something biology used to hide. Sleep was maintenance, and in this premise that maintenance is solved, it was also a shared social ceasefire. For part of every day, most people became unavailable together, without apology. The sleepless world spends decades rebuilding that ceasefire with laws, rooms, rituals, and locked screens. We gain 8 waking hours, then use our newest freedom to defend the right to disappear inside them.